It shouldn't be trying to do this at all.
I'll see if it works.
Okay. Another example is maybe turn up. For those of you viewing, you can lower the volume on me and, maximize his volume. But nevertheless, there'll be a crystal clear recording made available, and it will be uploaded by me at least, and who knows by him as well. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and just get over the introductions. My name is HappyCabbie of YouTube. I'm here co-hosting with Tommy Sotomayor. We've been doing videos back and forth towards each other for about 2 weeks now, and he messaged me on Wednesday and said, hey, I wanted to talk to you, so I invited him here to blogtv. So that's my introduction. Tommy, I'm going to let you have your introduction.
Hey guys, I'm a radio show host here in Atlanta. Been doing a show called Your World, My Views for about 4 years now, where we bring on a broad range of topics and have a broad range of guests, including we've had people like Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, and most recently my man, Brett King.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so how this all started, for those of you who don't know, is Tommy Sotomayor uploaded a video called 100% Proof that white women have more standards than black women, and he based this based on the number of porn stars that he's had a chance to interview. I kind of thought, well, there were a couple of issues I had with that. One, you can't really claim you have 100% proof just because you talked to a few people. That's not a large enough sample size. And also, his opinions, to me, seemed like he was, sort of like looking down on people in the adult film industry. And those are 2 points that I had. I basically just uploaded a video pretty much laughing at his concept. And that's pretty much how it all started.
And I didn't know anything about Happy. I didn't know anything about Happy's video. A woman put up a video, and in the title it said, famous white YouTuber destroys Tommy, and sent it to me. And so I see this thing from this woman, and I open it up and I see this guy that I've never seen, never heard of laughing. And then she put underneath it, under the caption where everybody else were talking, saying, well, he always gets on black women, but I guarantee you he'll be afraid to mess with a white person. So what happened to me was, bravado kicks in. When you're walking around in the schoolyard where two guys are walking around and they really don't want to fight.
Let me interrupt you just for a second. Tommy, do you have access to headphones?
I do.
If you're able to plug in headphones, there might be might be a way for you to reduce the echo that's coming from your speakers on my end.
Sure. Hold on a second. Is that better?
Okay.
Is that any better?
Well, you're not wearing the headphones yet. Okay. Now, is there any more echo coming through his speakers? Okay. People are saying yes, that is much better. Good.
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let you continue.
All right. Well, it's kind of like being on the school playground, when you're walking around and two really don't want to fight, and somebody says, I bet you won't hit him. Or, I just basically got told, well, you won't do something to someone that you've been doing to us. So my reply was to show, hey, I don't give a damn who says something to me. I'll reply back to him. When honestly, all he did was laugh. And I think what kind of stirred it was I tried to reach out to him before. And because I don't know my way around YouTube like that, I really don't. I didn't know that I had to do something to allow him to respond back to me. So I thought he was ignoring me. And then when I finally got in contact with him from my second account, he said, well, I don't talk to sock accounts. So like how you felt in my video that I was talking down to people in the adult industry, I felt like, at that point you were talking down to me because, one, I don't know what a sock account is, and I sent the message to you saying I don't know what that is. And you wouldn't explain it. And so I was like, okay, well, the guy won't talk to me. Maybe he's just being an a-hole towards me.
Okay, do you know what a sock account is now at least?
Yeah, I know what one is now, and I went and Googled it, and I was getting several different definitions of what it was.
Okay,
so
basically, usually sock accounts are sometimes, they just create an account, and then there's like nothing on there, there's no videos, And they just, it's usually people that you block from your channel. They just create.
But you saw the one that I sent you from actually had a bunch of videos, the Tommy outtakes. It was the one where it was the outtakes from my show.
I didn't look at that channel. It's like all I knew was I made a video response to Tommy Sotomayor, and here's some channel called Tommy Outtakes. It's like I didn't even bother looking at the channel. The Tommy Sotomayor channel wanted to respond to me. It's like, why wouldn't the Tommy Sotomayor channel respond to me? I didn't see the need to have some other account, that I have no way of knowing that those even yours. Even if there are videos on that channel, there are people that create channels that just like for example, Brett King. There's several Brett King impersonation channels. And in fact, there's even a few channels impersonating you that have your channels up there. Like there's a channel called Mr. Tommy Sotomayor. It has your videos on there, but that's obviously not you.
Right.
So, to me, if I make a video response to Tommy Sotomayor, I expect to get a message from Tommy Sotomayor, not Tommy's outtakes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, they're saying there's too much noise on your end because I can hear the, whatever you call it, I can hear the static that they're talking about.
Okay, well, I can't control that. I'm wearing headphones. So.
Yeah.
I apologize that the audio quality is not too good, but this is okay. So getting back to this, would you please describe what your opinion is of those in the porn industry? For example, I was listening to the conversation you had with Brett King, and you used the term "bottom of the barrel." Would you mind explaining what that means and what your opinion is?
Well, I can give you a little background. Number one, my show has featured the top porn stars in the industry, and they've come on the show. And even to them, I still point out that the idea of what they do is just a legalized form of prostitution. I've never held back. I think they have the ability to do whatever they want. I'm one of the first people to stand up for in the video. Probably it may be still out there. I caught a lot of heat for standing up for Pinky XXX. But just because I stand up for what someone does doesn't mean that I don't look at it. When I say bottom of the barrel, I say if you're going to say the type of woman that would be, I don't know, that you would look up to and look into society by society standards and say this is so-and-so, they would be close to the bottom.
I disagree with that.
I understand, but that's an opinion. I mean, if I say that this woman was the most beautiful woman in the world, you could say, well, I disagree with that.
Okay, well, no, you're making a judgment on their character based off their. My question is, if you believe these people, are the bottom of the barrel as you described them, why have them on your show?
To let them get their opinion out, just like how I believe what I believed about.
You're not using them to boost your ratings of your own radio show?
No, because I treat them with respect when they come on the show. If we're going to talk right now, well, let's talk with respect. I'm not trying to boost my ratings. I don't need to.
Well,
as a matter of fact, I was doing them a favor. I was doing them a favor by letting them come on the show.
You're doing them a favor by letting them come on to your
my show because it wasn't helping my ratings. As a matter of fact, a lot of the people that I had that were helping sponsor the show were pulling out because I was having them, and it finally got so bad that I let it go.
Okay.
But I was trying to help them get to a point where they could explain what they do for a living to an audience that may never see them.
Let me ask you a question. What is the average viewership for one of your live shows, which, if I remember correctly, you broadcast on a website called Livestream. Is that correct?
We do Livestream. We do Justin TV. We do Stickam. And there's one more.
Okay.
Ustream.
Is the audience greater? I mean, what's the average size of an audience?
I would assume most of the audience there would probably be I'd say on a live stream it reaches about 100. On the Stickam it's about 255. On the Justin TV it's a little over 100. On the Ustream it usually falters around 40, 50.
Okay, so about, if I were to say 500 to 600 people in total listen to your streams.
That watch the stream.
Okay. And do you consider this helpful to these porn stars that you're helping to promote them?
they wouldn't do it if they didn't. I wouldn't get Joel Osteen on my show. I wouldn't get T.D. Jakes on my show. If my show was small, they wouldn't come on it. There would be no way for me to get those people on the show. Because if that's the case, then you and everyone else would be able to get those people on the show. I just had Michael Reagan's son on my show.
Okay.
I mean Ronald Reagan, Michael Reagan, right? Was just on my show.
Here's the question that I have. I'm still trying to grasp your head around.
I want to make sure if we can do because when I brought Brett on my show last night, and when I bring everyone on my show, I'm quite respectful to them and quite respectful to their craft. And if you may think that my show is small, that's on you. But I would hope you would do a little bit more, as you asked me to do, a little bit more research. And you felt that my video about them was disrespectful, which I understand. But then I'm right here trying to talk to you, so I would assume we would talk. I mean, I took time out of my day, and I wanted to talk to you because, hey, let's have a conversation. I figured other people can. I mean, but even I'm watching your little comments from the guys over here on the side. They're going up and down. Are you getting his smart-ass comments? And I don't understand what is the purpose. When I started, he's a liar. And I didn't even say anything to be lying about. Teach him a lesson about the bottom of the barrel. I'm sorry, if you could bring Brett on, ask Brett how many people, one, disrespected him, and how many I lied to. Asked him, allowed to disrespect him.
People say mean things about each other on the internet. Don't let it get to you. If you let it get to you, then it just piles on more. Okay? But right now, just focus on what I'm saying.
Well, I'm trying to. When I was focusing on what you were saying, it was coming across very, as you said, condescending. You said I was being condescending towards them in a video. But you can go back and listen to any interview.
No, what I was saying is you said the statement that your broadcast using porn stars in your shows helps them reach a larger audience that they would not normally have access to. But your audience is, only a couple of hundred people, whereas
most of the people who come to my show come through Blog Talk Radio. They listen through Blog Talk Radio.
Okay.
The watching, the viewing is something we just started doing.
Okay. All I'm saying is, you go to the Twitter accounts, or like several of these porn stars even have their own YouTube channels. If they wanted to, they can do a lot of broadcasts on their own.
So why don't you ask them why do they come to my show then? If you don't believe me of why they come, it's easy. I have access. I can call them. I can call literally almost all the big names you know right now. Bluebird Films sends their people to me when they're getting ready to have a film that come out.
Okay.
It's like we're having a peeing contest right now, and it's like I don't understand why I would be having it when I have the proof to show. If you think I'm that small, ask them. Don't take my word for it. Ask them. But I'm not going to keep arguing about the size of my show and why they come on it. Ask them.
Okay. Well, it still goes to the fact that I take, strong disagreement over the fact that you have the opinion that porn stars are at the bottom of the barrel, but yet you keep having them on your show. If I thought
they keep having them on my show. When I made that thing, they weren't coming on my show anymore. You said keep having them on my show. I had stopped them from coming on the show. Sarah J will tell you that. You can tweet her and her 100,000 followers and to ask her about the phone call I had with her and said, I can't have you guys on my show because it's not helping my show.
Okay.
I tried because they came to me and asked me what I do. And I tried to have them on there because, hell, I dated some porn stars. It's not a big deal. And I know a lot of them personally, a lot of the big name ones personally. So I tried to have a segment on there, and the segment was called Sexcapades. At first, it was hosted by Diamond Jackson. Then it was hosted by Sierra. Then it was hosted by Sarah J.
Okay. Well, let's get on to another point, because obviously we're just not going to come across with this. In many of your videos, you use the phrase all black women way too often. The thing is, I've dated a lot of black women. Okay.
Well, I've never said all black women. If you could show me a video where I said all black women, then I'll address it. But I never say all. I say the word black women, but I've never said all.
Okay, so you said black women, but you not said all. Okay, fine. You used the phrase black women. Okay. I've dated many black women. Okay. And I've never dated one the way you describe these black women as.
Okay.
Okay. So what is your opinion of black women? Just for those that are listening to this for the first time, what is your opinion of black women?
My opinion of black women is that we have a problem in our black community, that there's a majority of black women who are doing things, and the men. The difference is in the black community, the black men have always gotten the blame. The black men have always been called out on their behaviors, as well as they should if they are having a problem. We just recently had a forum here in Atlanta where Steve Harvey did a huge city forum where black women were talking about how the black men were letting them down and how the women were, most of the black men were in jail and blah, blah, blah. Nobody stood up and said, hey, how can you say that? The black men have never had a voice because they've never had the ability to. And as we spoke to with Brett on the phone last night, when he heard every one of the callers, including women, talk about how we're disappointed in the behaviors of black women. When you have 80% of children out of wedlock, when you have over 53 or 58%, I don't have the numbers exactly.
If you have 80% of children born out of wedlock, why is that why is that a black women's problem?
Because it's not a societal problem. Society doesn't have an 80% out of wedlock birth rate.
Why is that not a problem with black people? Why is it a problem with black women?
Well, it is a problem with black people, and that problem was always brought up about black men, though. It was always, for the last 20 years, told as it's black men's fault. When you would watch Oprah, it was black men's fault. When you listen to your president, Barack Obama, he got up and stood up after he got elected and said black men need to start taking care of their kids. He got up and stood up and said black women are the backbone of American society. He didn't say anything positive about black men. That would be like if he stood up and said white women are the backbone of society and white men need to start taking care of their kids. I'm sure you'd find that quite offensive as well.
No, I would support it because, in my opinion, men do need to take care.
Right. So then, if you can support that if you can support being one-sided about something that's true, then why not support something on the other side the same way? Because there are white men out there that take care of their kids. So if you made a blanket statement like that, it wouldn't apply to that person.
Okay. So the fact that there is 80% illegitimate, single mothers out there, is that a black women problem or is that a black problem?
No, I just stated. I said it's a black problem. The difference is black men have been getting the brunt of the problem.
Here's my question. When I asked you what is your view of black women, you cited that statistic. So are you now saying that is not a black women problem?
No, I'm saying I'm trying to teach black women. Look, I'm a married man with a daughter. I'm married to a woman that's darker than me, and my daughter's my color. When I'm talking about black issues, black people get it. If white people don't, I can try to get them to understand. But it's the same way when Cubans have Cuban issues or when Mexicans speak about Mexican issues. Now, I could walk in and say, you guys shouldn't be talking like that. Maybe you should be doing this. But the people within the industry or within that community, just like how when Brett King was able to listen to the conversations last night and hear several black men and black women say this is a problem. And the reason we talk about it because everybody else tries to tell us how we should handle it. Nobody goes in the Jewish community and tries to tell them how they should talk. When Jewish men were saying to their Jewish women that they should stop having nose job rhinoplasties for their bar mitzvahs, I don't remember white men going in and saying, you shouldn't talk to your women like that. You shouldn't. It's not just a Jewish issue. They didn't say that to them. But for some reason, black people, whenever they're talking to their issues amongst each other, someone else gets to come in and say, well, we can tell you how you should and shouldn't be talking because I've dated a couple of black girls and I've never had the issue you had. Well, I've dated some white girls, and I've never had the issues that the feminist men are talking about. But I'm not going to go and tell them that they can't have that discussion.
Okay. So now that we've resolved the issue with the 80% illegitimate rate, what is your other issues that you have with black women?
Accountability. that we can't have that for 30 years black men have been told over and over they're deadbeats, they're dogs, they don't do this. And we just had to sit there and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else got on television. There's a black woman who was preaching the same words that I'm preaching to women. They ran that woman off. She's afraid to come out of the house. Every time that a black man said, there was a radio interview just last week, and I'll send it to you. Radio interview. But there's this black woman who's dating this black man. The black man had told her they've been dating each other 7 years. He didn't want any kids. She had been on the birth control pill. What she decided to do was stop taking the pill because she wanted a child, and she assumed that once she had the baby, he would want it. She told him live on air, and then lied after she explained to the people, and the people had to correct her. They were like, no, ma'am, it wasn't a bad batch of pills. You just told us that you stopped taking them on purpose. And she was like, I'm 3 months pregnant. And he was like, you're going to have an abortion. I don't want any kids. I told you that. Immediately, the women who were there who knew this woman was a liar said to the man, so you're going to be a deadbeat dad? You're not going to take care of your kid? Now, one, the woman's only 3 months pregnant. Two, the woman lied. But instead of saying, woman, you shouldn't have lied, they jumped on the man and said he's going to be a deadbeat dad when a woman has the option, if she didn't want it, she could have an abortion. No one would say a thing. It was one-sided. And a lot of the discussions that blacks have in the black community are one-sided, just like that.
Okay, so that's on those particular women. Okay, that's not, that's not on, black women in general. That's an issue with.
No, it's black women in general. Our numbers say it's black women in general. Our numbers say it's black women in general. We have almost 80% of kids born out of wedlock and only 24% married.
That's not a black women issue. You already said that. That's not a black women issue.
It pertains to black women because it has something to do with the guys that they're choosing, because a woman chooses a man. You cannot have sex with a woman if she doesn't allow.
A man doesn't choose a woman?
No, actually he doesn't. I could want to have sex with a woman all day. When you tweeting them porn stars, if they don't tweet you back, you don't get anywhere. Is that not true? You wanted to talk to them when you tweeted them. If they don't tweet you back, you don't get anywhere.
Okay, I'm not gonna, be, Okay,
I was making a simple statement. Is it not true that you can't have sex with a woman if the woman doesn't want to have it with you? You can't do anything. You can't go on a date with a woman.
But the thing is, if I don't want to have sex with her, okay, it works the same way. Okay, I also get to choose the people that I have sex with.
What I'm saying is, if the woman has the initiative, trying to explain this issue honestly.
It's called a takes two to tango. Okay, one person may be interested, the other person may not be interested.
I've never absolved men from their responsibility. Every time I do a video going off on black men, it gets 80 thumbs up and 3 thumbs down, and I'm being just in general. And I did it on purpose a few times, just put up videos and said, black men, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. And the women who hated everything I said came and said, yeah. Even last night, the show was called Black Men, You Have Let Yourself and Your Culture Down. Not one person got upset. That's not right. It's crazy to sit here and just get to walk around and just say a black man this, a black man that, and no one says anything. As soon as you say something about a black woman, there's a problem. Black men have been getting told over and over and over again they ain't shit. Even as little boys. You ain't going to grow up to be shit. Your daddy wasn't shit.
Who's telling you that black men are going to be shit?
Again.
Who's telling you that?
Again, if you'd have listened to the show last night, there are people who say it. There are videos you can go and find on YouTube.
If somebody says it doesn't mean that it's true.
Just like what I say, then, if that's the answer to what you're saying, then what I say isn't true either. But I should be allowed to say it, not have someone just try to rail.
Just because somebody says that you're not going to be shit. You showed off your house. You've got a house probably 3 times the size of mine.
But the majority of black men, there are more black men in jail than there are black men in college. And no one argues when I say that stat. That black men make less, they're the only group that make less money than their counterpart. But no one says anything when I bring up those things to show that the black man needs to do better. Last night I got praised by all type of black women in emails. What a great show you did last night. Maybe those men will start listening to you. I just pointed out to you that they had a whole show on that town hall meeting, they put that thing on CNN. So black men had to watch a dadgum show on CNN about how we don't do what black women need us to do. We're a poor breed of men. You can put it in YouTube right now. So after you get done with me, I would like you to go and talk to one of those women and then say, you know what, women? Why are you putting these videos up saying white men are better than black men? Why are you putting these videos up saying black men?
Because some people prefer white men. Some people prefer black men. I know a lot of women who actually prefer and date exclusively.
I didn't say that. I said that they said that they're better. And the point is, if they're able to say that, then I'm able to say porn stars at the bottom of the barrel. That would be my opinion. That's not factual. Neither one is factual for someone to say something's better or someone's at the bottom of a barrel. There are no statistics to prove either one. They're both opinions.
So your video, 100% proof that white women have higher standards, that wasn't 100% proof then? That was just your opinion?
I gave my opinion and I backed it up with something trying to point out. Because even the people...
Okay, so maybe you need to retitle that video then. Because it's clearly not 100% proof as you claim.
The point of the video was to say, for the people who had called in on my show. Now, if trolls or people who didn't call in the show don't get it, that's fine. I did it for the people on my show who kept calling in talking about the porn stars were bottom of the barrel, bottom of the barrel. So what I did was address the fact, if you're saying by your standards, that's what I meant by when I said 100% proof. If you're saying by your standards that they're on the bottom of the barrel, these people are the lowest of the low, yet you're turning around and you're saying, you know, white women, because the people who were calling the show were saying white women are easy. They were saying all these things about one way about white women. So I pointed it out the other way. If you had seen the show, for all of you white people who are right now trying to get me told and all this stuff, if they had listened to the show, they would have thought every one of those black women were racist, the way that they were talking about white women. That's why I made the video. Because they were talking about white women like they were dogs. They were talking about white women like they'll fuck anybody. We're even saying they fuck dogs and they fuck horses in porn. You go look at them. They ain't shit. They were doing it. So my reply was to say, if you're trying to say that they're that nasty, let me point out something to you.
Then why didn't you present that in your video?
Because I put my videos up for my fans. If other people don't see it, that's their problem. It would be just like if when you put that laughing video, didn't people not get that too? Didn't people come to your video saying it doesn't make sense? There were people who came to your video and said that was childish. You know for a fact that no matter what video you put up, somebody's going to come and not get an understanding of why you're doing it.
And that's fine. There are some people that don't understand
Thank
video.
you. So since it's that fine, then I'm not going to sit up there and try to feel or make 100% of my fans happy or 100% of yours.
Nobody's
asking you to.
Nobody's asking you to. But when you
just told me that I should have explained that.
I'm saying you should have, yes.
Got it.
Because when you put up a thing called 100% proof, you know, that usually implies that you have facts. And you don't. You just have an opinion based off a couple of people, a couple of porn stars that you talk to.
But you and I are having a discussion about what happened, what all this was. Just like any other two people. And it becomes assholish when if you sit here and talk to me and you were saying, hey, this is what I meant. It's just like me. I came to you as a man after I saw the laughing and I didn't get it. After I go back and say, okay, I get it. I'm not going to keep saying, well, why didn't you say that in the video? Have I said once to you, why didn't you say that in the video? I get it now. I'm not going to go back and play hindsight. I get it now. Whether somebody did something, if somebody's trying to explain to you this is what I meant, to keep on, well, why didn't you do it? Hell, why didn't I graduate a year earlier? Why didn't I mean, come on. I'm explaining it to you now what happened. It was me putting a video up, trying to go back, and that's what makes me mad. Because in two sentences, I get called a racist against blacks and then a racist against whites. Because in each sentence, I'm up here trying to praise and jump through hoops for people I don't know.
Here's the reason why people were calling you a racist. Okay. Because your constant reference to, I was like, oh, well, this, a waste of white is what you referred to me as. You kept making reference to the fact that I was a white person. Okay. And a whole bunch of other stuff about, what particular race that I was. That's the reason why you get accused of being a racist, because you keep making reference to people's races.
Okay, but you can't be both. You can't be racist against blacks and then racist against whites. Just like when one guy called me homophobic and another guy called me gay. It's just the whole point is, and I play sports all throughout school, and
people call me all sorts of things. You know, I mean, there's
but
a
that's
video
my
out
point.
there right now.
So I have a mission, and I gotta do my mission. If there are people who don't get it, that's fine.
Are you a racist?
If I was a racist, I wouldn't be on your show. If I was a racist, I wouldn't have been taken up for Brett King. If I was a racist, I wouldn't have had I wouldn't have had Derek Bros on the show just 2 weeks ago. Forbes magazine senior editor.
Okay, so that would be no, you are not a racist?
I said no.
Okay.
And explain why.
So if people call you a racist and you're not a racist, then that's fine. People call me all sorts of things.
I'm saying it doesn't bother me. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all. It didn't stop me. Or they can say whatever they want to say. If people want to take a picture of what you do, even this, I'm coming to talk to you as a man. Or I did this as a man. Just like I talk to Brett, just like I talk to anyone. And I try to sit down and talk to everyone. I wouldn't have brought you on my forum, and maybe that's the difference. You would have come on my forum, and I wouldn't have had it on a hostile situation. It would have been you and me talking. Because it was the same thing that happened with Brett. Brett came on the show, and when all those people were saying, that guy's racist, I got all of them to change their mind about him because all they took was a couple of samples of what was being said and decided that he was racist. And I didn't let him sit up there and get browbeat by my crowd. Nor did I try to browbeat him. I don't treat people like that when they come on.
Nobody is browbeating you for having a civil discussion.
It doesn't get civil when someone says, well, why didn't you say that? When I just explained. Well, the first thing I came on this thing and did, and it was apologize and say, you know what, I was thinking one thing, and I was wrong. Even when I sent you a message, and you started off, and I guess maybe that's your persona as far as the sarcasm. Because like I said, even with the troll account, the sock account, I didn't get smart with you just a second ago when you made a statement. You said sock accounts are accounts that don't have videos or anything on them. I could have gotten smart with you and said, well, all you had to do was look on mine and seen it. So it would go against what you just said. But that's hindsight. There's no reason to try and be smart with you.
Okay. So, anyway, why don't we take a few questions from the audience? NotComVid says the biggest problem you had is when you used gay as an insult. Have you ever used gay as an insult?
Me? Did I use gay? Well, first off, you guys, I want y'all to do me a favor. Everybody who's watching, go to YouTube right now and put Tommy and gay in there and see how many videos come up where they're just calling me gay out of nowhere. Just gay, gay, gay. I did a video talking.
Okay, the question was not, are people calling you gay?
No, I'm trying to tell them I don't have any videos where I'm making fun of gays. I did shows talking about how blacks being homophobic is ruining their community. That it's hypocritical for them to be so against gays, but they're not against kids out of wedlock. They're not against all the things that the Bible is against, but they're against gays 100%. No, I'm not, and I don't sit up there and use it as a slur.
Okay. So .comvids, do you have an example where you believe Tommy used gay as an insult? Because he basically said he doesn't do it.
Right. Go show me where I've called somebody a faggot, which I've been called over and over again. As a matter of fact, about 20 times just today, because I put up a video, got called a faggot. Go look at my latest one. How many times I got called a faggot?
Okay, guys, would you mind if I hit stop real quick and begin recording in 5 seconds?
Okay.
Good to go, guys.
Okay. Homer says, Cabbie, something I have trouble understanding. Earlier he said he did the radio shows to defend porn stars, and then he goes and makes a video proving they have
I didn't say I did the radio shows to defend porn stars. Please play back where I said I did my radio show to defend porn stars. Go ahead.
If I remember correctly, you said something to the effect of
giving them a chance to talk to a larger audience
they wouldn't have before.
Right. And you said, and that's when you started saying, well, they can get more people than you, then that would have made no sense for them coming on, especially as many as they did.
Okay. In this video where he calls Voctor Jerry Sandusky, he stated, They even sent a gay YouTuber after me, a gay YouTuber.
Not sure if that's a slur because I call the white people white, I call the tall people tall, I call the fat people fat. Not really sure how that's a slur to point out what I see.
Okay. Maybe.
Go ahead and tell me what I said about him. Ask that same person. Tell me what else I said. I said they sent Jerry Sandusky and the gay YouTuber. What else did I say? Because if you're gonna say that somebody's making slurs, they got to say it in a negative way. You can't just say a word. It has to be in a negative way.
So it is your opinion that Vodka 616 is a homosexual?
No. That's Jerry Sandusky. There were two of them. There was the other guy. I forgot what the other guy was.
Okay, so you said
he was listening and doing this the whole time. So to me, his movements were of a homosexual.
Okay, so you referred to Vodka 616 as a gay YouTuber.
No, I didn't. I referred to him as Jerry Sandusky. It was the other guy.
Okay, there was another guy.
There was two of them. That's why the guy said that I spoke to him, and I said and Jerry Sandusky and a gay YouTuber. That would be two separate entities. Okay,
who is the gay YouTuber? And
I don't know.
Why is it important what his sexual preferences are?
It's not important, just like it's not important in anything else that we're saying. Why is it important? Why is it important? Well, why would you say? Well, I mean, how big is how important is that? You wanted to know, and I gave it. How big is your audience? So I gave it. I gave you what it was. What do you mean by how important is it? How important is it? Did anybody stop that guy and said, how important is it? How many kids he got? How important is it that he's stuttering? Why don't you ask him? Anybody that asks me these questions, ask them questions. It's irritating now.
I would never refer to somebody.
Nobody's even asked a fair question. Nobody's even tried to say one thing except the templates, and I've watched it. I've walked into a buzzsaw, and I thought I was walking into a situation where I would just be talking, and people would actually want to hear what was being spoken upon.
Okay, people letting you talk. The question is, why?
Oh, so I can act like a typical street thug, and saying those things about black people is okay. Come a black man that's just sitting here, I'm somehow a thug. One of the most educated people on here, but I'm a thug now. I'm a thug, right? But that's not racist, and nobody's calling them on that. I guarantee you if I was sitting on Piers Morgan, they wouldn't allow somebody to just call me a thug, but make me watch my mouth about what I say about other people.
Nobody's telling you to watch your mouth. You're welcome to use any language you want, but the question is, why the need to bring up somebody's homosexuality?
I answered it because that's what I felt I saw. Just like I felt I saw the guy look like Jerry Sandusky. There was no need in that either.
Why didn't you just say YouTuber?
Because in where I grew up, we did a thing called Jonesing or playing the dozens. And what you do is you sit and you say certain things about the person to point it out or whatever. This guy's attacking me, and
I was raised in a different culture, but
I'm sure you were, but that's the whole point of all of this. If you would just acknowledge, or anyone else, it's just like I was talking to Brett. His idea of atheism doesn't match with people who don't have it. But we're not going to force him to see things the way we see it because we were raised in a Christian household. Understand that he would see things a bit different.
May I offer a suggestion, guys?
Go ahead.
Okay, my suggestion is I can see that for the past 5 minutes, the stuff that's going on in text is bothering you. I would advise just to concentrate on the questions that Happy says and don't pay attention to others. Happy's a very open YouTuber. He allows anybody to come in and talk, whether they like him or dislike him, and the same for you. So just focus on Happy, all right? He'll ask you questions.
Well, I didn't even start looking to the side until the question started to feel a bit sarcastic. It was like no one wanted... If you ask me a question, I give you my opinion. I don't mind even having a follow-up question to my opinion.
Well, if
I'm being honest to what I'm saying to you, and I'm trying to be as honest as possible.
Okay. Well, my advice is just to focus on what Happy's asking you and stay away from the text if it's bothering you that bad. Go ahead.
Okay. So, does anybody else have another question? There's no audio coming from the host. So if you're having audio issues, you're unfortunately just going to have to wait for the YouTube video, unfortunately. Okay.
That's a very good
question. Are black men partially responsible for the problems in the black community?
As I said in my show last night, I find black men wholly, pretty much, I'd say if I had to give out of 100%, I find black men about 85% of responsible of everything that's happened.
Not a Tommy fan. I can answer that. He actually did a show yesterday on his radio show talking about black men. So he does talk about black men occasionally. So.
Interracial marriage doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't have an explanation for you other than try turning me down a little bit and maximizing his volume. And then, of course, Tommy will do the best that he can to speak as close to the microphone as possible.
I did a video on Trayvon Martin. Black people got mad at me because I pointed out the fact that this guy sat up there, and if you look at the facts, everybody jumped on this guy's side, but nobody did anything. And then the next thing you know, nobody gave Zimmerman any thought to maybe he's innocent. And also in that video, I pointed out black people are killing black people every damn day, but as soon as a white person does it, they get pissed off. Black folks got mad at me for that. I call it down the middle.
Asked a question. The question was, does interracial marriage make you angry? And I'm guessing she's referring to the couple times where you're referring to Jeannie Burlesque as that black bitch with the white husband.
If I'm referring to her as a black bitch, it would seem like her being a black female was more important. It would bothersome in there. If I called her a bitch, I didn't call her husband out of his name. I'm not following that.
There have been videos of yours that I've seen where you have referred to her in this exact tone, that black bitch.
Yeah, and I haven't referred to her husband out of his name or his race out of its context. Sure haven't. Tell me the derogatory things I said about his race or interracial marriage, and then that question makes sense. Because the only thing it seems like I'm saying is I'm referring to her being a black woman in a bad way because I'm calling her a bitch.
The black bitch with her white husband.
Right. So how would that be saying anything bad about him?
Is the way you emphasized it, and particularly the way you said with her white husband.
But wait. If I said black bitch, white, okay, put those 4 words beside each other. One team has black bitch. The other team has white husband. Yet the black bitch isn't as offensive as the white husband.
The question is, when used in that context, it makes it appear, which is the reason why she asked it, that does interracial marriage bother you?
Not white men in interracial relationships just by saying it that way. You can't. You said that you could break down my argument on the 100%. And even I said to Brett, I didn't elaborate or say it the way that I should have said it. You can't say right now that in that sentence that if anybody was breaking that down, it surely sounds like he's mad at the woman, not the man. The reason I'm emphasizing that she has a white husband is because she runs around with all this pro-black stuff and tried to get black women mad at me saying that I talk bad about black women. It didn't make sense to me. It would, and as I said to Brett last night on the show, it would be just like a person in the Klan having a black wife. It doesn't make sense, and that was what I was trying to point out, that it was hypocrisy. It was hypocritical for her to sit there and be pro-black and got a white husband. It doesn't make sense.
Okay. She has a follow-up question. Do you have a problem with racially mixed children?
No, I don't. Only thing I've ever said was racially mixed children aren't black. I said it's an affront and it's a slap in the face to the other parent. Dude said she never said she pro-black. See, that's what I mean. She can run around with this. Yes, she did. And that's what she was telling the other chicks. I'm not going to sit here and have an argument, discussion with people who just want to say something. That's when it just gets silly. They're just saying things. She said these things. She said them openly. But the people didn't know she had a white husband. It would be like Jerry Sandusky running around saying he loved the kids and you found out he'd been convicted of molesting them. Somebody would point that out, that it's ironic.
Basically, I want to refocus the conversation towards between Tommy Sotomayor and myself. Jeannie Burlesque is not here, at least I don't think she is.
Okay, wait. I want to point something out to you. Hold on.
If she wants to join in the conversation, she can. But when
I just want to ask you something. So for the people who just asked me if I got a problem with gays and gays is wrong, Miggy G just wrote, I think that what's going on here is that Tommy and Brett Keane is having a secret gay love affair. So I would hope that people jump on him. But instead, Poppenheimer says, Miggy G, you're 100% right. And then everybody puts laughing out loud. So who's the homophobe in here?
Gotta focus on Happy, man. I told you, it's people of all different type of traditions in here right now.
Cabbie, can you agree on this? There's no black, white, or yellow humans for humans. Unfortunately, I can't agree on that because while, everybody is a human, there is physical, differences, between us. We have different skin colors, we have different features, Asian people, they have, the eyes, and, white people, we have our features, black people have their features, Hispanics have their features, Indians, so each individual race has features that are unique to that particular race. So there is differences between the races, but yes, we are all human. Behavior a lot of it has to do with the environment that you were raised in, for example, you could take two black people, one person living in the United States, another person living in Africa, and they're going to be behaving completely different, even though they're both black. Same can be said for white people. You could take a white American and a white person living in the UK. The white American, of course, will be fat but have teeth, whereas the person in the UK will be skinny but have four dentures, So,
and I would challenge you, Happy, to go and look at the
I would
interview
like to
with
tease my English friends about their teeth,
Well, I will challenge you, Brett, not Brett, but Happy, if you could, go look at the interview with Derrick Rose. And Derrick rose up to be, he's the one who created most of the multimedia that you use on your cell phones and stuff like that. He did it when you're watching movies and stuff. He did it while he was at Paramount. Derrick is a pretty big wig. He helped, he's the godfather of Cuba Gooding Jr. Kids. He helped write a couple of things, and he's got a movie that's coming out now. He talked about how he grew up in the same environment, how you talked about environments. He grew up in an environment where he said, I grew up in the hood. All my friends were black. He said, I had to start out making money breakdancing. He said, that's what I did. But he said, the funny thing is, he goes back, and yet everybody except him in Cuba, because Cuba's dad used to sing with some group called the Manhattans or something, but his dad wasn't in his life. So his mom then were broke. He said only him and Cuba got out. All the rest of the black friends are still there or in jail. And he talked about how it seemed that, and I let this white man say this to my black audience, and my black audience got pissed at me. But he's saying, I'm only going by what I've seen. He said a lot of blacks will fall on the I'm black card and will say things like, life is hard on me. So they will just, use the people are racist card and won't try to get out. And when they see somebody like Cuba Gooding that's trying to get out, they'll call him a sellout. Now, this guy said this. And I still allowed him to say it because it's from his opinion and from his vantage point.
I want to do a follow-up to that point. You've said in a couple of videos, for example, a video I saw of yours the other day, to where you said that, black people are supporting you. And the ones, you use the phrase, well, there are some black people, race traitors and Uncle Toms, the people who disagree with you.
Well, I didn't call them Uncle Toms. They call me Uncle Tom. I call them race traitors.
Okay. Why is somebody a race traitor if they disagree with you?
No, they're not a race traitor because they disagree with me. I didn't say they matter of fact, I welcome disagreements. I've never said that people shouldn't disagree with me. As a matter of fact, I'm the one that's had to have 15 damn accounts because they kept flagging my stuff down. Every 3 weeks, my stuff will get flagged down. What I said was, those people who, in one instance, just like that guy DeLue, whatever his name was, the guy went and talked about how, white people this, white people that. He was talking mad shit about how bad white people were. Then he ran over and was subscribing to everybody white and telling them how great they were for coming after me. That doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for you to sit there and talk about your family and say how close you guys should be, and then you help the neighbor kick your brother's ass. That honestly wouldn't make sense.
I never helped my neighbor kick his brother's ass.
In the analogy. I said if you go and what's analogies?
Okay. All right. Somebody ask another question. Or maybe somebody has a question for me. Maybe some of Tommy's audience is in here.
No, because they don't know I'm doing it.
Oh, okay. That's no problem.
I was trying to, I didn't think I had to bring backup. That's messed up. If I'd have let them know it would have just been some big infighting. I was just thinking the same thing. I guess that's always my problem. I don't know how the internet works. I take things honestly on face value.
Cabbie, do you think he's a racist? Well, first of all, I believe everybody is a little bit racist. I mean, including me. But the thing is, do I believe that he's a racist? Yes, I do. And the reason is because the many times that I've seen him bring up a person's race, and for no other reason. For example, he referred to me as a waste of white skin, for example. He kept referring to me as this white person, this and all that. If somebody's constantly bringing up somebody's race, to me, I don't see people that way.
And it's easy for you not to.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy for someone not to see something if they didn't have to deal with something. It's just like you just said, environments.
Do I see him as being like the black equivalent of the KKK? No, I don't. But yes, I do have a problem with the fact that he's constantly mentioning somebody's race, or we talked about earlier about the gay YouTuber. To me, I would never refer to somebody as a gay YouTuber. I was brought up different.
Exactly, like the person just referred to the gay sex we're having, me and Brett.
That's beautiful, though. It's hot stuff, man.
I know, I mean, it's crazy. That's why I was telling you on the show last night. The same people who call me racist are the most racist people in the world. The same people who call me misogynist are more misogynist than me.
Okay.
They just like using words to shut you up. Racist are words to shut you up.
Hold on. Did you just say that people who call you racist are more racist than you?
I said most of the people who call me racist are usually more racist than me. I've noticed that every time people call me something, it's just
does
like...
that include me?
Well, I haven't called you a racist. I don't know if you're a racist. If I thought you were racist, I wouldn't have even reached out to try and speak to you. That's what's messed up about this. I reached out to you as the same way I extended my courtesy to Brett. And Brett's experience on my show, a show where people were getting mad at me, was not like this at all. I didn't get sarcastic with any questions I asked him. I took his answers at face value, because what I'm asking is got to be, let the audience decide if the man's lying. But I guess that's just my journalistic integrity coming up and saying, you know what, these people came to say their piece. I asked them, they want to speak. I'm going to let them speak. And I'm going to treat them like I treat anybody else. That's probably why I can get the guests that come on my show. That's probably why they come on.
Tommy, why do you keep telling people that black women sent the white man after you when you know it was DeLu? Actually, it wasn't DeLu who sent me the video. The video was actually sent to me through my shared with you folder. And I actually deleted the message. I actually don't remember, but it was
I never remember, because you said when somebody asked you, you said, did somebody asked you on one of your videos, the first one about me, you said, no, I got it from a Jeannie Burlesque. You said that you got it from Jeannie Burlesque. And yes, and ever since I saw that, I stopped saying. I do.
I have gotten some videos from Jeannie Burlesque, but I don't remember.
You said that was the one that got that you. She sent you the first one. I read it, and I said, and when I saw that, I said, okay.
I'm gonna have to reread my comments.
Yeah, please do.
Because I don't remember saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that she sent me a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't remember. It could have been her, maybe on a different account of hers, but I don't remember it.
No, I don't admit I'm wrong. I just came on the show and led off with that I was wrong. You're right. This is just stupid. Nobody's even hearing a fucking word I'm saying. I just can't do it. You want to talk about trolls online? You got trolls here. And then you're feeding to the trolls. The conversation's not even trying to go to where we're trying to stop the trolls from trolling. We're feeding to the trolls.
in my opinion, we're not feeding the trolls.
If it weren't, and as soon as they put something up like that, look, dude, he just called in the show. He even said to me, my bad, I was wrong. That's how he started. So to ask a question, do you ever admit, after making a statement about one thing, do you have to keep asking this question? They keep asking the question.
For example, let me tell you, of course, we have balloon tutorials, Bionic Dance, Mind Reality Bias, HPO I recognize, Agent of Doubt I recognize, Angel I see I recognize, Belser I recognize, Brett Keane, Fancy Pocket Watch, Catfellow, Mean Black Dude, Miggy G, I've never heard of that person before. Mike 10 Dude's been in here before, .com Viz, Mrs. Royale, Not a Tommy Fan, first time I've seen that channel. Hoopenheimer, first time I've seen that channel. R. 8 and Bob, who's been in here. Ravenous, Abella, the Prince of Mill Avenue, the Two Tempest, Together for Peace, who's been in here before. So I would say roughly 80% of the people have been in my blog TV rooms several times. So there's not too many trolls. These are my regular viewers for the most part.
Yeah, you got to do me a favor. I took time out, and we've spoken for a while, over an hour now. I'm here with my daughter. My daughter's in the other room. I've taken some time out to do this. I've just gone long enough. I've looked bad enough in this discussion. It didn't go. I thought we were going to pretty much hash out differences. If you needed me to explain something, I didn't mind explaining it. Even on the show last night, I gave you utmost props. And people told me I was stupid for doing so, and I looked like a sellout. Well, you know what? Now I get it now. I look stupid. I look stupid for giving you all the credit in the world on my show last night. I look stupid for treating Brett Keane like an individual. And when every black person called in and tried to get smart with him, I shut their asses off. When one of the things that they said was, "How dare you talk about black issues," was one of the first callers that someone said to Brett. And I said, hold on, buddy. How is he can't talk about an issue that he sees? That doesn't make sense that you're trying to tell him that he can't talk about something he sees, whether his opinion is valuable to you or whether you like the fact. And not only that, but I let him sit there for 3 hours and do it. When people were sending me emails, cut that guy off. You don't need to have him on that long. That's why I can get the Sons of President to come on my show. That's how I can get Joel Osteen to call in my show, in the middle of my show, and talk to me in the middle of the show about what I was talking about, which is single parents and black single parents. That's why I can get Tyrese to call in the show, Krayshawn, the rapper, to call in the show. That's why these people come on the show. So even if I had an audience of 2 people, you'd have to ask. Yeah, I begged them. You're right, I begged them. And they do whatever I ask them, just like I'm the liar that be flagging people down. Yet the only people's channels who get flagged down is mine. The only person that has to keep remaking channels is mine. But they can run and tell y'all that I'm flagging them down, but their videos has been up for months. And y'all believe them because it's easier to attack me instead of the truth. This is making no sense. And I'm not having a nervous breakdown. I'm sick and tired of, I sit up here and set myself up. Thought I was going to walk into a discussion where people were going to sit and talk and ask a question. People I don't even know and don't even know the situation. Didn't even know about me 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, all they're doing is talking. The one thing I can say about my black audience wasn't sitting up there trying to railroad Brett Keane, and I didn't let them do it. Because I had enough respect and professionalism for the guy that was coming. Because I would never want somebody else to see that interview and not want to come on my show. And not think they weren't treated fairly. And not think that I got a bunch of trolls and idiots watching my show.
Do you think you're being treated unfairly now?
I think at this point, I've just gotten frustrated that I've taken out an hour of my day and thought that I was walking into it. Even started off smiling. You can see the beautiful smile on my face. Thought we were going to talk something out. And damn. This damn show didn't go the way I thought it was.
May I say something, Happy?
Okay.
Tommy, I appreciate you having me on the show, and it was very respectful and decent. I've advised you over and over, realize this is a discussion between you and Happy. You realize there's a lot of people in. Now, if you opened up a blog TV right now and did the same thing, you would have people coming in from all different traditions and cultures, and it would be the same way.
Because they were doing it in live stream, and they were doing it in live stream and Stickam, and they were getting banned.
And you know what I did, Tommy? I simply closed out of the browser. I didn't pay attention to the text. I listened to the questions and discussion that you were doing. You can't pay attention to that because you're going to get good people in the room, and then you're going to get people who just want to have fun.
Oh no, I didn't start looking over there until I saw the questions during the show were going towards I felt like, wait a minute, he's not trying to talk to me and get my actual answer. He's feeding the, I think you're stupid. I think you're a racist. I think you're a jackass. And I'm going to just sit here for an hour and prove it to everyone that you're a racist, stupid jackass.
No. He's not doing that, Tommy. He's just asking you questions and stuff. Go ahead, guys.
We're having a civil conversation, in my opinion.
No, you've been very calm. You've been very calm.
I ask questions. You ask me some questions, and then
have I answered any
questions from the audience?
Have I answered any question to you that would
I don't understand why.
Have I answered
taking questions from the audience?
Have I answered any question to you that was either satisfactory or that would make you say, okay, I understand where he's coming from, without the sarcastic back, like when you asked me about the people coming on the show? That's where it all started. When you're asking me, well, why do you have them on the show? I told you why I had the forum. You tried to belittle my show. And you can't say you didn't, because you did. And we shouldn't have a pissing contest where I got to throw up all these people and throw up the numbers. It shouldn't happen like that.
And nobody's belittling you. We're having a civil conversation.
May I hit stop at this point?
Yeah, because I gotta go, honestly. Whatever is going to be posted, let it be posted. Okay. But I'm not going to make a fool of myself again. You got me once.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on the show, and I guess that'll be it then.
Good deal.